Hello and welcome back to Asia and I hope you're having a great weekend. In today's video, we're covering several developing stories across the region. We'll talk about foreigners being arrested in the Philippines for Estafa fraud, a major shift in visa policy for Chinese nationals, and the acquittal of Arnie Teves in one of his murder cases. We'll also touch on a few stories out of Thailand. Make sure you stick around until the end. After less than 24 hours of running a poll, I've already made a decision about the future direction of this channel. Whether we're going fully Asia-wide or sticking strictly to Philippine news. I'll explain what that decision is later on. Now on to our main story. The Philippine National Police have shut down an alleged Estafa fraud operation in Ifugao involving two Iranian nationals. The suspects are accused of swindling a local businesswoman out of 23,000 pesos. After the victim filed a report, police quickly coordinated with nearby units, tracked the suspects to a neighboring town, and arrested them once the complaint confirmed their identities. Authorities said the swift response prevented the suspects from leaving the province and emphasized the importance of timely reporting and community cooperation in preventing crime. That said, I really wish there were more details about the actual scheme they were running. 23,000 pesos, split between two people? Come on, man. What kind of amateur operation is that? If you're going to risk prison time, deportation, blacklisting, and sitting through trial, at least make it worth the squeeze. I'm just saying. Next up, and this one surprised me, Chinese businessmen and tourists are now allowed to enter the Philippines visa-free. Or, well, kind of. Starting January 16, the Department of Foreign Affairs announced that Chinese nationals traveling to the Philippines strictly for tourism or business may avail of a new visa-free entry privilege. This allows a non-extendable 14-day stay that cannot be converted into any other visa category. The visa-free entry applies only to arrivals through Ninoy Aquino International Airport and Mactan Cebu International Airport. Upon arrival, travelers must present a passport valid for at least 6 months beyond their intended stay, confirmed hotel accommodations, and a return or onward ticket. Now, I wouldn't exactly call this completely visa-free. Yes, technically it is, but there's clearly a lot of safeguards in place to ensure only legitimate tourists or business visitors are coming in. And if you're actually doing business, you'll still need the proper documentation. Still, this is a significant shift compared to previous months when Chinese nationals were required to secure visas in advance. If you're wondering why there's still so much red tape, it likely stems from past issues: scam hubs, offshore gaming operations, and the Philippine offshore gaming operators that were shut down under President Marcos. At the same time, the Philippines appears to be feeling the impact of reduced tourism numbers last year, which may explain why this policy shift is happening now. Unfortunately, tourism numbers still aren't even reaching 5 million. So now, unsurprisingly, the government is trying to attract more visitors by rolling out this visa-free option. India also currently has a visa-free arrangement, although I haven't really heard much about Indians coming to the Philippines in large numbers, so I'm not sure how effective that's been. I'll definitely be curious to see the data and whether these policies actually lead to a noticeable increase. Moving on to our next story. This one's still out of Manila. A Manila court has acquitted former Negros Oriental representative Arnie Teves, along with two co-accused, of murder charges connected to a 2019 case. In its ruling, the Manila Regional Trial Court stated that the prosecution failed to present sufficient evidence to secure a conviction. That said, Teves remains in custody as he continues to face separate murder charges related to the 2023 attacks in Negros Oriental, which resulted in the deaths of then-Governor Roel Degamo and 9 others. That's a significant number of victims, and I wasn't around when this story first broke. So if anyone remembers the details and doesn't mind saving me a Google search, feel free to drop some context in the comments so the rest of us can catch up as well. So those are some of the major stories coming out of the Philippines. There are more, of course, but these are the ones I chose to focus on for now. What's interesting is how aggressively authorities went after Teves. They spent over a year going back and forth diplomatically to track him down and extradite him back to the Philippines. And now that they've finally got him, there wasn't enough evidence, at least for this particular case. That doesn't mean he's in the clear, though. He's still facing other charges, So we'll have to see whether those cases actually stick. And ending on a more positive note, 3 of Thailand's most famous night markets have secured spots in a global top 10 ranking, highlighting the country's vibrant street food and market culture. These markets are celebrated for their mix of local dishes, handmade goods, and high-energy atmospheres that draw in both tourists and locals alike. The recognition only reinforces Thailand's reputation as one of the world's top destinations for food lovers and nighttime explorers. Travel experts say this international recognition will likely encourage even more visitors to seek out Thailand's legendary night markets, which is great news for local vendors and small businesses. That said, Thailand's food scene is already world famous. I'm not sure it really needs any more hype. Still, the night market specifically could see an extra bump in tourists, although I honestly don't know how much more they can handle. Parking is already a nightmare, even if you take a cab. Every night market I've been to is usually shoulder-to-shoulder packed. If you go, you either need to arrive super early or really late, and at some point it can get a little uncomfortable. The food is phenomenal, no question, but sometimes it's best to grab it early and take it back to your hotel. Sit down, relax, and actually enjoy it. Let me know what you think about Thailand's night markets. Have you been? Do you want to go? Are you into Thai food, spicy food? Drop whatever you want to share in the comments. Personally, one of my favorites is the Cicada Night Market in Hua Hin. I like that area because there are 2 markets right across from each other, but there are so many others. The train night markets, Chatuchak, and plenty more. There's a lot, so it's really no surprise that 3 of them made the global top 10 list. Now on to more news from Thailand. Thailand's foreign ministry is seeking clarification after the United States abruptly suspended the processing of immigrant visas for Thai applicants. The pause has left many families and workers in uncertainty, with little information provided about the reasons behind the decision or how long it may last. Thai officials say they are in contact with their U.S. counterparts to get clearer answers and push for more transparency. Based on publicly available information, the suspension appears to affect applicants from a broader list of around 75 countries, including several nations across Asia, Africa, and parts of Eastern Europe and the former Soviet bloc. There's obviously a lot of debate around this, but that list gives some context as to where these concerns are coming from. Before we move on to our Yesterday Today segment, let's take a quick look at the poll. And first off, thank you to everyone who participated. We had nearly 500 votes, and the results were pretty clear, about 2-1. The majority of you want me to continue covering news from the Philippines along with other parts of Asia, especially Southeast Asia. That was actually a pleasant surprise for me, and it's good to know that what I'm doing is useful and that you're enjoying the content. So thank you all for the support and for taking the time to vote. Mr. Billy says, no, leave your channel the way it is. Alex, a lot of people travel to the countries you cover, mostly the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and others. Your program, Asia Now, covers places other programs don't. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mr. Billy. I really appreciate that. Tom also says, no, those living here still like to hear news from around Southeast Asia to inform our travels. And The Real Deal adds, your channel isn't Philippines Now. It's called Asia Now for a good reason. Keep up the good work. All right, I hear you. I got the message. And one more from Happy Retire who says, I like how you're doing things now. Thanks. So yeah, a lot of positive feedback, and I really appreciate all the love. If you want to help the channel continue to grow, consider hitting the like button. If you're new here, maybe subscribe, share the video, or leave a comment. And if you really want to go above and beyond, you can scan the QR code to buy me a coffee. The link is also in the description. If not, that's totally fine too. Even being a quiet viewer still supports the channel, and I appreciate that just as much. That's it for today. Let's keep it short. I hope you're all having